Welcome to another edition of A Strange New Pod. I'm your captain and host, Julian Brown, and no coffee or hot chocolate was spilled on me during the recording of this podcast. For those wondering, that is a very deep cut, but relevant to this episode. Alongside me, as always, is the best bridge crew this side of Praxis, Rear Admiral Eric, who finally got his wish this week in, cetacean ops.
Yay!
Yeah. He's been waiting so long.
So long.
Lieutenant Brittany, who would totally paint the signs for Captain Freeman Day, and Lieutenant Hawk, who is currently going through 1 million scenarios of who could possibly be framing Carol. And Commander Giraffe.
Named the Grisellas.
There you go. Ooh, okay. Deep cut already. And Commander Giraffe, who is still debating in her head whether the dolphin uniforms were fabric or paint. Glory
naked
to you
naked time.
And your houses. How are we doing tonight, folks?
Oh, you know.
I'm
better
ecstatic.
Better now? Good. Yeah. Also joining us for our season finale review, we welcome back our friend and host of the Promenade Merchants podcast, David Majors. Welcome back, good sir.
Thank you, Julian. I have a very serious grievance to bring up with the Federation Council. I am not happy.
Would you like to just bring it up now? Because I know you've been holding it in. We could do it now and get into the rest later, because
like
I know you've been holding it in all day.
The DS9 erasure must stop. The line must be drawn here. This far, no further.
I like it. Yeah, so no go on the Jadzia quote there, right?
Not a fan.
I loved it.
We love Jadzia, but the fact that she mentions Spock, which I guess makes more famous science officer,
It's
but
just because she's old and out of touch.
she is
Hey,
old.
come
now.
on.
Who that is?
Hey, come
Donna.
on.
That's not the only point I'm going to bring up
Yeah.
Well,
when
we'll
it
get
comes to lower decks and Deep Space
He's
Nine.
like, did they finish the miniature DS9 yet? They're always referencing DS9. I love it.
I thought it
Well,
was
we'll
done.
find.
Isn't it?
It was in his bunk,
Yeah.
I think, in last week's
Yeah,
episode of the
it
episode
was.
before. Who knows? It
And
might
it looked
be done.
like
It
they
might not be
finished it,
done.
actually. I was
We'll
like, oh,
see.
damn.
We'll see next season, maybe, or maybe it'll be on to Voyager.
Quarks everywhere. It's great.
Guys, this week it's a cliffhanger finale as the Cerritos had to launch a very daring rescue mission of the USS Archimedes and her friend, Captain Freeman's friend, Captain Sonia Gomez, who, if you don't know who that is, we'll be watching that episode after our podcast tonight in our watch along channel on Discord, which is Q Who. She made her debut in that episode as a very young ensign, and she does something not quite great to Captain Picard, but watch the episode with us tonight. It's a lot of fun. Plus, guys, we break down the ramifications of the last few minutes of the episode and all that has to offer, and also our final thoughts on season 2. Did it live up to season 1? Did people grow? Did anybody take a step back? We're going to talk about all that fun stuff, but first we have some news. Guys, if you haven't seen this week, we are taking pre-orders on our brand new Discovery shirt. It's NASA inspired. It says "Let's fly." It's designed by Eric. He did a killer job on this. You can find all the details on our Twitter and on our Discord channel. It's all there. It's awesome. Please pre-order one, and we're going to be doing stickers of them as well. They're fantastic. So yeah, those pre-orders will be good until November 1st. So there you go. Other news, we're going to be off next week from live stream because we've earned a break, and there's no Star Trek for 1 week. Whatever will we do?
The
We're gonna
pain.
sleep.
Just
That's
means
what
we
we're gonna
can
do.
rewatch all of Lower Decks in one
Watch
day.
in 1 day. That's right. But we will be dropping our bonus podcast interview with the author of both the autobiographies of Captain Janeway and Mr. Spock. We interviewed the amazing Dr. Una McCormick, who we welcomed back on the show. Ensign Admiral Aaron did that interview with me. Patrons, you've already heard the unedited, fun little bonus version of that one, but that launches next Friday, so a week from tomorrow. We had a great chat with her, by the way. She's an awesome guest, and we'll have her on again because she's doing a Raffi Picard book. So, that'll be awesome. And then speaking of Ensign Admiral Aaron, we talked on the phone yesterday. She's going to make her triumphant return to the show on November 4th. So get ready and hold her to that date.
I see her this weekend. I can deliver hugs if you want.
Yeah, there you go. Deliver
Confirm
hugs.
or
We miss
deny.
her.
From all of us. Guys, we have a long and good show to get to, but first, Eric, we need to thank our Patreon Collect members at the Ready Room level and above.
Ah, yes, those awesome Patreons. Simon Steger, Jeff Reeve, Mariah Gossett, Spotted Giraffe, Hey, I know that one.
You're off the list.
Rob,
we gotta take her
Jen
off the list.
Stein, Tina Alexander, Joe Saporito, Noe Santo, Kung Hui, Takako Nagumo, Kara Kennedy, Mark Fernanda Nogales, SMK or SMK as I say, Ian Davies, Amy Grace, and our newest collective member, Laura Linderman.
Woo woo!
Yay!
Thank you,
Woohoo.
collective. I love getting new patrons. Y'all rock. You guys are awesome. Yeah, Eric, that might have been Hawk. We think had his best a couple of weeks ago. That might have been your best and fastest run through.
It was his
Yeah.
fastest for sure.
It's fastest, not best.
I-
The
You're
best
either
is when I do
patron
them wrong.
or you're Patrout.
I had the
Eh?
best one though. I keep it as a
Yours
clear
was
achievement.
really good.
Oh, yours was
Yes,
really
thank
good too.
you.
Yes, that's true.
I need to throw on more of a Canadian accent when I do it next time. Hey,
Oh,
there's Simon Steger there and Jeffrey.
Sorry,
That's-
guys, just got here from Tim Hortons.
Isn't
yeah.
that
we
more?
have Simon Steger.
Is that
A
more
lot of hosers
Fargo?
on this list, I see.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got
Watch
to
it,
go
you
really hard with
hoser.
it.
Northern Canadian. Let's go.
Never again, please. Never again.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Again.
Again. Guys, to find out more about our patron collective, just go to our website, strangenewpod.com, and click the join the collective button. We have awesome perks like bonus podcasts and early access to shows and behind the scenes stuff that you may not get in the normal version of the podcast, like our interview with Una McCormick. So check that out.
And a pin eventually.
Sorry.
And a pin eventually.
And a pin eventually. It is getting made. I
bad.
have the file. No, it's all right, dude. Life happens. That's you know,
Life find a way. Found a way.
life.
You always love our
uh,
pins when they happen.
finds a
so
way.
it'll be fine.
Lots of merch coming.
You can
Well-
say you'll put a pin in that and come back to it.
There
Yes.
you go.
There
And
you go.
to add
David
to-
making my pun for me.
To add
He's
to
stealing
David's
your
love.
job.
To add to David's love
I'm
of
fine.
DS9.
I was looking up my answer to whenever we get to the strange new loop.
Hey, David, guess what? Our
Yes,
Dec-
Eric.
December pin is going to be DS9 inspired.
Yeah, let's go.
Good.
Mm,
Wait,
mm.
so there's going to be a December pin
Yeah.
Is
because
it
this one was
Jadzia
late. Oh,
wouldn't
that
wanna
makes
be ya?
sense. Okay.
No, December was always the last one, right?
Oh, okay, got it. And our 2021 patron collective member pin, which we have to start thinking about. Maybe poll our patrons for that, guys. I think
Nope, already did it.
You got a tip hole then.
we got a lot to get to. Let's get to the strange new loop. And I was told during the pre-show that this was not a fun question and a hard one, to which I say, boo-hoo, you're all wrong. It's a good one, and we're going to go with it. If you're tasked with writing an episode of Star Trek, it could be any Star Trek, it could be your own Star Trek show, it could be your own Star Trek movie, and wanted to write a love letter to the series or the films, how would you go about doing so?
I know.
Okay, you were going to go last. Go ahead.
I know what I'm going to do because I love cetacean ops and I would love to see these officers like a love letter because, you know, dolphins, whales, whatever, they live a long time. So, you know, they're on multiple ships in multiple generations. I want to see their point of view of all these major movies and TV series from cetacean ops moving forward all the way through to
And just only with subtitles, you just hear like,
exactly.
remember that time?
Isn't it
Punk,
strange?
blah, blah, blah?
Isn't it strange that the universal translator doesn't work for them? I thought that was
Yeah,
odd.
it's really funny.
Sounds like a whale of a
It
time.
makes it funnier.
Damn, you got some competition, Brittany. Do we
Nah,
give
I'm
him a
fine.
soundbite?
Yeah,
I think
give
we
us
do.
a soundbite.
Get off my bridge.
There we
Thank
go.
you.
Well, you threw that one out there. I had to do something on purpose.
Sure.
There you go.
Oh
attack.
no!
Another one. Do it again.
Kidding me?
It's
Thank
about time
you.
someone else makes jokes on this show. I'm
It's
tired
true.
of carrying
I
all the
agree.
weight.
Who's next?
I'll go next.
Show's taking a dive.
Go ahead.
All right.
Bum,
So
bum.
Jesus Christ.
I asked you before if it had to be an episode or it could be the film and that.
It could be a
'cause,
film. That's right.
All right. So I was thinking, you know, obviously we have very, very strong feelings about Into Darkness and that.
What's that?
Do we?
It just did we wipe that from the canon? Okay.
He said the forbidden words.
I wanted to correct that sequel. If you wanted to plumb Star Trek lore and that, I would have gone back and done a remake of Charlie X.
Ooh.
I would have
Yes.
Kirk and Spock pitted against some wild teenager with godlike powers and that, where they have to actually use their brains and that to solve a crisis.
Nice. I
Yeah.
like it. I really like it. Sweet.
Are you
Who's
guys
up
ready for
next?
mine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're ready for mine. I would set an episode where a young Starfleet cadet sneaks out after curfew to see an off-limits exhibit that they're building nearby. The exhibit is a series of holo simulations that chronicle Starfleet from the beginning to present day. And so the kid stumbles from iconic moment to iconic moment via episodes and films, from crew to crew, of the crews we love, obviously. And then at the end of the exhibit, the last holo program is an empty bridge. They can choose to sit in the captain chair or pick another bridge position. But from there, they form their own ship and crew from their imagination, and it shows that the future of boldly going forth and carrying on the legacy of those before them is what matters the most.
Wow.
Hmm.
Nice.
Bitch.
I know. I'm
Well
like,
thought out. Well, this is better than that one time where I literally was like, I don't even know they're going to go up a mountain with Odo in a bucket. Like, I had no clue what the fuck to think that day. I didn't understand
There's
the
an
prompts
Odo
at
in my
all.
bucket, dear Liza.
Yeah, I
dear
was just
Liza.
like, I thought it was like a training scenario. I was like, okay, cool. So there you go. This one's deep and profound.
nice. David or Giraffe?
Good luck.
Giraffe, if you would like to go first.
Oh, mon Dieu. How can I pass after that? Like, tell me. First, I have no idea because I'm a bad student and I just read the the loop. Second, I have to admit that I always wanted what they're gonna do in Strange New World. So now
I know, right?
I'm like, my love letter. Yeah, I want to see the crew under Pike and young ensigns.
And we find out number one's name.
Yep.
Yeah,
And it's just one.
you know, more Uhura and like her backstory. So that's happening. I'm a lucky girl. No, okay, seriously. I think that I want to know everything that they tell us about but never show. And
Yeah.
I want to see these Federation ship where, you know, there's like crew from only one race, like these like Vulcan Federation ships or Andorian Federation ship. I want an episode that is free ships but Federation ships. That's what I want.
Okay.
Give it to me.
Nice. I dig it.
3,000 ships, written by Giraffe. All the other Federation ships.
Exactly.
She's fed up of not learning about them.
Nice.
Ooh.
Dang. But you see, Julian waits and he's like, now that one wasn't funny.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say a word. All I said was,
You went,
oh.
I can tell by your reaction. I see how it is.
Damn. Okay.
That was a difficult loop.
It was. Yeah,
was.
this is a difficult one. David, you're up.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Would you like to hear the one that I came up with today, or would you like to hear the idea that I've had in a long, long time that I've always said that I want to write in full for NaNoWriMo for years, but I've never actually gotten around to writing in full? Which one would you like to hear?
The
Shit.
second one.
Well, hey, I say both. We got
Yeah.
time.
Both.
All right.
Shoot.
Both then. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. I would write an episode of Lower Decks where T'Lyn, the Vulcan we met,
Ooh.
decided that because of her getting thrown off of that Vulcan ship, she decides to go on a spiritual journey to regain her logic and regain control of her emotions. And her spiritual mentor is Tuvok.
Watch
Makes
that.
sense.
You had me at
Act
Tuvok.
1. Act 1.
Goosebumps.
Tuvok tries to help T'Lyn, but can't. And they suspect it might be medical. So she goes to a doctor, and that doctor is Dr. Julian Bashir.
Nice. It's all
Take
connected.
that, Mike McMahon!
It's all connected.
It's all connected.
Now,
I like
my
that you
nano...
did that out of Bashir will.
Damn right.
Sorry.
I want to know what the hell is going on.
There's your DS9 reference. There you go.
Thank you. Now, my NaNoWriMo idea. This one is sort of a Star Trek suspense thriller.
Nice.
A Starfleet commander is just about to get promoted and just about to get his first command. About a week or so before he gets his transfer, the ship he's on, where he's the first officer, goes under fire and takes heavy damage. The ship is nearly completely wiped out. And he has to find a way to survive this alien enemy, something like Species 8472 from Voyager, get back to Federation space, and save his own life. And in my head, I call it Star Trek Life Science.
Ooh,
I like that.
I like that
Yeah.
a lot.
That could be a novel.
It could be. It could be.
Do
There's so many. I mean,
One of these days,
right.
I'll write it. One
It'll
of
be
these days.
canon. You can make it happen. I believe in you.
Okay, we have some on Twitch before I go. Haven says, I would want to have a movie of the actual founding of the Federation from Admiral Archer's point of view, similar to DS9's The Visitor. Ooh,
I like that.
yes, I like that. Let's see. What else
Jake
do we
Crabsap
have?
wrote, I would like to see the TOS era from the lower decks.
There you go. Nice. I'm gonna wait for my dog to go by. Go to bed, girl. Go to bed.
Oh,
There she
Lexi.
goes.
Perfectly normal dog.
Lexi,
Yep.
mine would probably be controversial. I'd show the origin of the Borg.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
Nice.
Yes, I would like to see that as well. Hawk, did you go? I forget.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
he was
That
second.
Yeah. Okay, good. I just want to make sure. Did we have any others? Destiny trilogy, give the Borg an Enterprise connection is that's the episode. No, I think that was all of them.
Yeah. I think
Apparently,
that's
my
it.
name is Brittany today.
Oh,
Son of a
are
bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, you are.
My bad.
We switched
Hey.
spots.
Hey,
It was meant to be.
So
it happens.
I'm so honored.
Hey.
You never
It-
know. I might
it's
get
an
some
anomaly.
follows. They'll be like,
It's an
wow, I really
anomaly.
like this Brittany. She's saying some really great stuff.
It's an
Even though
internet
Giraffe's
anomaly.
terrible.
I'm
No
I'm
longer.
gonna go. I'm gonna go. So y'all,
Go for
I
it.
think you guys are gonna be shocked by mine. I've always been, speaking of relationship stands, I'm definitely one of those Trek fans who really wish and think that the writers dropped the ball on Picard and Beverly.
And
Like
I
that,
knew you were gonna say that.
that
as soon
needed,
as you said
needed to
relationships.
happen. So I've wanted to. I should actually write the script. I've been wanting to write this script forever. A TNG episode. It takes place in the future. Like they'd have the all good things uniforms. It would be past. It would be past when Beverly was captain of the Pasteur. She'd be on her deathbed. She'd be dying, and as she starts to go, Q shows up, and we have like a tapestry part 2. And this episode would be Q taking Beverly through the what ifs. What if she played the role of not desperate widow, but like widow who does decide to fall in love again and put her shields down and end up with Jean-Luc. How does that go? Do they have children? Does Picard get the Enterprise? And it goes through all these different circumstances. What if she took the job at Starfleet Medical? What if she what if Pulaski never left the Enterprise? What did she do for those years? It would just be this Q Beverly episode, and I think the interactions between them would be just as good, if not better, than the Jean-Luc Q relationship. And I'm dying for this episode. And the episode would end with Beverly not on her deathbed, but her waking up in sick bay, and then roll credits.
Nice.
It was all a dream.
You really crushed that, Julian.
It was
I
really
knew
good. I
it.
like
yeah,
it.
I did.
I was waiting for it. I was like, if I make this joke, I'm gonna get booed.
I really need to read the papers
no.
before.
You really
Crap.
do.
Work,
It's okay.
guys, work.
Haven Goes is now worried that Julian has seen Picard season 2 or season 3 scripts. Now this I've wanted to write this script since I was like 15. I love those two, and it should have happened. Maybe it will. Who knows? We'll see. Anything else for the strange new loop? No.
Nope.
All right, folks. It is our review of the Lower Decks season 2 finale. First contact. And David, as our guest, as always, you are up first, sir. Your views on this episode.
This was a really good episode that had just about everything that I've said about Lower Decks up until this point. I found Mariner frustrating, but in the end, okay. I loved Captain Freeman really showing her chops as a Starfleet captain. I felt like this entire episode had a really good balance of serialized storytelling and episodic comedy, and that was really well done. I cannot forgive the Jadzia Dax line from Dr. Tiana. I cannot let that go because just like in season 1, where the conspiracy guy talked about how the Dominion War didn't happen, and this whole
Wolf
thing
359
that
was an inside job.
the whole thing with Lower Decks and Deep Space Nine, I can't let it go because they can't let it go, apparently. And I felt like this entire episode and really this entire season had a lot of episodes that were very good Star Trek plots.
Yeah.
A lot of the episodes of this season absolutely could have fit within The Next Generation or Voyager or TOS, while also still being full of good comedy, good improvisation, a little bit of naked time, which I
Always
thought
need a
was
little
We all
naked
need every
time.
once
Come
in a
on.
while.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little much, but I didn't freak out as much as some people did. Overall, I really enjoyed this episode. It was a fantastic Next Generation-esque cliffhanger to where we all have to wait for the next season to see what happens. This episode was really great, and I really think most of all, it showed that Captain Carol Freeman is a pretty damn good Starfleet captain.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Agreed. Draft, you're up.
It was a. Why do you laugh?
like, I
didn't
gotta
say
read ahead.
anything.
You had to take a
Go
big.
on, Fred.
You had to take a deep breath.
Compose yourself.
right
I think
before.
Giraffe and I might say the same things. I think I know what's going on in her head. We'll see. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think anyone knows what's going on in her head.
That's
Not even
fact.
I mean, that.
Not even Giraffe.
It's true. Only
I
Ethan Peck
don't.
knows.
Oh,
He knows what
yes.
to Ethan expect.
Let's open that
Nice.
fanfic channel you were talking about.
It's there.
And
It's on the
okay.
That
Discord.
was quick.
It exists.
Okay, now that I don't know what I'm supposed to say anymore, let's do it. I love that episode. That's such a good episode because finally something epic is happening. Like something Star Trek, like some battle, well, there was a little bit in the previous one, and I already loved it. But we're going into that epicness that I was a little bit missing until now. I love the development of the characters. We've been talking about that for the whole season. But I have issues. I have some small issues. First of all, like there's been this whole talk about like Section 31 and agent and mysteries. Come on, McMahon, give me something. Like
Nope.
you hint.
I told you guys it wasn't
tease,
gonna happen.
You tease, and then nothing happens. What is this? A cliffhanger? Come on.
In true
Second-
TNG fashion, though.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. But come on, don't put the black woman in prison. Come on. What is this? Like I'm suffering here. I'm suffering.
Court
McMahon,
martial.
I've tweeted you.
Tribunal.
We need to talk. Court martial, tribunal.
They don't
we
have
know it's
have
fake.
prison in the 24th century. It's a penal colony.
Penal.
Penal. We saw that naked time.
Can we say colony on the internet?
Oh, can we? I don't know. Is that a forbidden word now?
Hey, I'm French, so you know. it's
Oh,
okay.
there you go. Yeah.
She's
Well,
like, I know all
excuse my
about
French
that.
then.
What was I saying? So yeah, a little bit of issues because I feel like from the previous episode for me, like this season really started with free ships. Like I was that would have been like for me good like fourth or fifth episode, and then we could get into the nitty gritty and the action, the thing. And now that I'm into it, I have to wait a year, so I'm a bit sad. And I wanted more resolutions. We didn't resolve anything in this season. I don't feel there's been a knock. What did we resolve? What did I miss?
We have to wait till we talk.
No, the thing about that's true. I'll wait. I won't argue.
We resolved Mariner and Jennifer.
Kind
Okay,
of.
I didn't care about this.
That
Let's be
doesn't-
honest. Like
Let's be
I was
honest.
not
First
interested.
of all,
Lexi on
I
Twitter.
wanted
Lexi
I
wants
wanted
us to
this
fight.
woman to be
Hit the
back.
button.
Where is she? Where is she? You teased that to me, McMahon, and then now she's not here anymore? What is this?
She's the
Teaser.
captain.
She'll be
Next
back.
year.
She's the loose thread. She's a loose thread that gets people to watch season 3.
Gets
Is
me
she
all
though?
excited
That's how
and
plot
leaves
arcs
me
work.
like this.
It's all
Okay.
connected.
She-Ball
Thank you.
can't believe it.
Mm.
Anything else, Giraffe?
No, I'll talk more
All right.
later.
Brittany.
Okay, so one thing I really loved, I thought this was a great finale. I love it. It's probably one of my favorite episodes of Lower Decks ever. I loved that there were so many jokes and references, not to like other Star Trek, but within the show that happened in this finale. Like the fact that Boimler felt like he was dead for a second. He's like, I saw a koala, and it's like he wasn't there for that scene. So it's so funny that the koala is now like a canon thing that happens. And
Who's
There are
more
just so many great
powerful,
moments.
Q or the koala?
The
Koala.
koala.
the koala
The
begins
koala.
with Q first of all, so it's all connected. It's a koala because it's a koala team. It's a quality joke, Julian. You have to press the button now.
Oh,
Just shut up. I tried to be polite for the guest. I held back, but nope, can't now.
You could barely
You-
contain that joke.
You underestimated me for the last time, Julian Brown.
I don't even know what
Anyway,
to say right now.
I thought all the character arcs were perfect, and I said this about season 1 as well, that it's not necessarily like a plot arc show. It's like a character arc show, and that's what I really like about Lower Decks. It's so character driven. The characters themselves, as much as they're like fantastical or like, you know, science fiction-y in some elements, like all their issues and like their personalities are rooted in things that are so very real. So like Mariner's journey, even from season 1 to where she's at now, like in the finale, finally she's moved forward. And I know that people might argue later on about growth and stuff, and I'll just say that growth never looks like this ever in real life. Growth is up and down, it's around. Sometimes you sink down, you repeat yourself before you finally truly step forward and grow. And I loved seeing that. Like, I just felt like the arc this season, everybody had that moment where like Tendi overcame always thinking so poorly of herself to realizing, oh wait, I did a great job. I'm being considered literally to be on the bridge. Like that's an amazing thing. Rutherford finally, you know, let go of that fear that he has of forgetting Tendi again. There's so many beautiful moments. Boimler finally took the dive, that leap of faith to go into the unknown. Like narratively, there's just so many really awesome things. I'll go real quick now, sorry. Mariner and Jennifer finally called it back during Move Jennifer. Everybody's heard me say it a million times, so I'll skip through it. But I have a bunch of backgrounds I will change to prove
Becca
it.
Fur. We ship it.
Becca Fur. We'll find out. There might be another name, but for now, Becca Fur. We're shipping it. And I really love seeing the whole crew work together to do this really big task. And the fact that like even when they're all like just getting the plates to like separate together, like I was just getting emotional. I'm like, they're really gonna do it all together as a family. So the fact that they saved the day and it's not just Captain Freeman Day, it's First Contact Day. It was just a chef's kiss
Aw.
ending. I was like, this is so wholesome. And I loved it. I smiled through the whole thing.
Nice.
I'm
Hawk.
done.
So many good points have been brought up. Yeah, this finale threw me. I thought they were going to do a continuation from last week and that where we were going to get some, you know, more, I guess, more closure in that regarding the Pakled Klingon connection and that, and maybe expand on that.
Welcome to the Pakled ship, Pakled.
Red alarm.
Red
Alarm.
alarm.
Red
Red
alarm.
I'm hungry. You should eat. You're smart.
Instead, they threw us for a loop, but a good loop in that.
A
people
strange
complain-
new
Strange
loop.
new loop.
See? That's a good pun when 3 people say it.
People ask where the episodic, you know, material for Star Trek is these
Nice.
days. It's right here in Lower Decks, and that they gave us a mission. You know, it was a crisis, and it was great seeing Freeman you know, rise to the challenge and that, because like, you know, all through this season you realize that she is probably the most undervalued captain in Starfleet. She's the most shit on captain in Starfleet, and that whole remember the episode with the party and that, you know, California class.
Nope. Sorry. Back of the line.
Even the
Yeah.
beginning of this episode, they did it too. You guys can sit back.
Not a
Yeah.
lot of California love in Starfleet.
No.
Uh-huh.
I-
But there was Californication when there was naked time.
Mm.
Hey.
Ooh.
Come on,
I'm
that's
running
it was
out.
a show, it was a song.
I'm running out of buttons. I'm
Get
running
on my
out of
little-
buttons.
You need more.
Get on my
I
knee.
do. I do.
I love this. I love it.
Are we getting at this point of the show?
Lizard babies.
Yes.
Not
Yeah,
yet.
it's,
Sorry,
not
Hawk.
yet,
You may
no.
continue. I just had to make that joke.
You interrupt anytime you want.
I do.
Despite everything, Freeman took on one of those extraordinarily difficult tasks. We love in Starfleet, and that rescuing another ship, and that with zero options, and that I love that. It was Rutherford who ended up coming up with the idea of it.
Yeah.
Through a fight with Mariner and Beck, it's all interconnected. It's so weird. Like
And
you realize
it reflects him too, because he says to let go of like these things
The
that Mariner
defenses.
needs to let go of her defenses, but he needs to let go of something also. It's so the writing is so good.
and it emphasizes that this is a great crew and that they need each other to work well together. And they do. They pull off an impossible task. The ending, I thought the ending's getting a little happy, and then sucker punch at the end.
Boom.
And my heart just pitter pattered when I saw the end logo to be continuous. Like
It was right. It was
TNG.
Dun,
I know.
dun, 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 dun.
Da-da-dun.
I really okay. So, quick sidebar. I really hope and pray that the team over there next season they do last season on Lower Decks, and they pull it from like they do like an AI
Oh, they
with
probably
Majel
will.
Barrett's voice,
They could just
Mhm.
pull them. Yeah.
because it would be like the most beautiful
And
thing.
now the
in the world.
conclusion.
Yes, thank you.
Last
Mm.
time on
Mike
Lower
McMahon's gonna
Decks.
listen to this podcast and he'll
Yes.
do it.
Yeah, come on, Mike McMahon, make it happen.
DS9 exists.
Hawk, did you have anything else?
Yeah. I mean, like we're talking
Yeah.
about character growth. I'm glad the four central characters each got like a good amount of screen time this week, and that everybody really got a good story. I'm pretty sure Rutherford and Tendi and that all that talk was just code. As it was.
Oh
suggested.
yeah, we're gonna get to that.
No,
yeah.
was it? They do
Everything's
love
a
that ship.
metaphor.
They do,
They-
but
they
they
also
also
love
we're
that
gonna
shit.
get to that. We're gonna get to that.
All in all, it was not the finale I was expecting, but it is a finale I love.
Nice.
Alrighty, Eric.
Hello. Fun fact.
Hello.
Fun fact.
Oh damn it! I'm always on the wrong page when you say it. I hate
It's okay.
that.
It's okay.
Fun fact time.
There it is.
There
So,
it is.
oh my god, this episode. This episode might be one of my favorite episodes of all of Star Trek. Like,
Ooh.
Mhm.
it's that good for me. We've been talking this whole season about how cinematic this show has become, and the fact that they went with not a funny ending, and they went with something that actually had, oomph to it, and it
Danger.
could sit
Stakes,
within
weight.
any of the other series, and it would be fine. Like, it would fit in that. Maybe not DS9; they can't really stop a rolling ship. But I'm just going to continue that Mike
Yeah.
McMahon hate for DS9, I guess. No,
No,
I'm sorry,
Love it.
David.
I love it.
The look of disdain.
I do love DS9. We know this. It's I don't even know like how many things I could say about how much I love this show. We had talked about the evolution of characters, and Beckett's relationship with her mom this whole season has been their it's
Mhm.
that little anchor for them, and the fact that they've grown into this really loving relationship, and they had this whole fight in the last episode because they don't want to be apart from each other, and
Mhm.
the fact that they love each other so much after seeing so much, I don't want to say disdain in the first season, but to get to that point is such a good relationship growth, and to see that on a Star Trek show is amazing. This year, also Boimler has really come into his own, especially after seeing him so nervous and unsure of himself in the first season, and Beckett and Mariner just sort of pushing him along. He's the one who saved the day all throughout this season. Like,
Yeah.
whenever he's with Mariner, he's the one that did the right thing, and he's the one who took charge, and it really
You
shows
got
him.
boimed.
Yeah, exactly, and I love it. Rutherford, oh my god, how much
love him.
I love him so much. He's my favorite character. We all know, and
Every episode, you think, can I love this character even more?
and then this episode, we find out he's not erasing memories. He's making backups because he loves Tendi so much. Friend, maybe more than friend, but enough that he wants to make triple backups of this
Yep.
friend that he doesn't want
That's
to forget.
love.
Like, that's amazing. And man, and to see oh my god, my brain is dying right now.
The
Cetacean
moment
ops?
where he realizes that he shouldn't have gotten that
Oh.
implant.
Yeah.
It's an elective.
Well, I like the little tease about, I guess, Section 31 or whatever. But I also like that he was like, you need to make more memories, and that's the more important thing, and that's
Mhm.
beautiful, and I love that. And especially from people like, especially our age and stuff, we film everything. I know my phone is getting filled
Yeah.
with stuff for my kids. I have a hard time transferring it onto my hard drive, but sometimes you just got to get rid of it just so you can, keep doing that,
Keep
or
filming
go away
memories.
from the phone at all. Oh my god, what
The
else?
show is honestly like some of the deep quotes they have on it. You would
Mhm.
think would come from other shows. Like if you pulled random ones and showed people, they'd be like, "There's no way that comes from Lower Decks," and you'd be like, "Wrong. This person says it."
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tendi coming into her own. She's gonna be on the bridge. Like, that's beautiful. She was
Yeah.
so unsure. She was so eager, and the fact that she had there's another character that we see in this episode that became a captain, and she was so
Mhm.
nervous in the first time we see her in TNG, and that's a great metaphor for where she can go.
It's
Exactly.
perfect for this show, right? That they show her of all the characters that we've seen in Star Trek. as
The
a captain.
OG lower decker.
She is the
Yep.
OG lower decker. Exactly. I thought that was wonderful. So,
I'm
And,
trying to think. Yeah, sorry.
Just to jump on this. Oh, sorry, because we
keep
were
going.
speaking. I like the fact that she's the OG lower decker, but she learned to not act like Picard.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like that scene where she's like so nice to the ensign that, by the way, headcanon, I'm pretty sure it's her daughter.
It's her kid. It's got to be her kid.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She
They
looks
look
like
like
her.
So
identical.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. And I'm like, see, you do not reproduce and repeat abuse. That's very good.
Exactly.
um to go on to the production side, Chris Westlake, his music was so good this season and this
Mhm.
episode in particular, and to end on those notes that we got from TNG is just like, I had chills. I'm getting goosebumps right now as we talk
Yeah.
about it because it's so fucking good.
I like teared up at the end.
to
Very
to plug
emotional.
Chris Westlake even more, the Lower Decks Volume 1 soundtrack is available now wherever you listen to your music. Buy it. It is worth it. It is a great soundtrack. It's got music from season 2 and season 1. It's fantastic.
It may not have blast shield, but it is a blast.
We got to see, I like, what else? I'm trying not to go on forever, but we saw the senior crew show how much they loved each other. And
Mhm.
it's those little moments, like even that little fight they had in ops
In the bridge.
in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bridge,
The ready room.
ready room, and I was just like, oh my god, it is like a little
Phillips.
family. And they're
Phillips.
so,
Yeah.
Billups.
Phillips.
He was
Phillips
so
from
mad.
than
losing
any
it.
fucking ship in Starfleet.
they love each other. They love their ship.
Yeah.
I love this show. I
And
can't
you
wait.
love Cetacean Ops.
Cetacean Ops. My God,
Yeah.
years after seeing it in the fucking book in the 90s, in the little cross sections, we finally got to see it. It was smaller than I thought, but whatever. It's a small ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
That's
pretty
it.
fucking hilarious.
That's
All
it.
right. I'm going to preface what I'm about to say with one very important thing. So remember this before you guys start booing me. I love
better
this
not
episode.
be about DS9.
No, I love this episode. It is a great episode of Lower Decks. That being said, I said this last week, that last week's episode felt like a season finale. And after watching this week's episode, I really think that last week's episode should have been the season finale. You can actually better incorporate the ending of this episode into last week's episode. This was an episode of Lower Decks. Like this kind of event is something that we had in the mid-season of season 1. We've had during this season. So as good as it was, which it really was, it didn't hit me like last week's. And that's not to say it's not a great episode, because it is. But last week's episode, I think, is my favorite episode of the show to date. So this was going to have a hard time living up to that no matter what. That being said, so many great moments. For one thing that we haven't mentioned yet, the fact that they finally kind of updated the Excelsior class. This is an offshoot of it. It's really cool looking. It's like a mix of the Excelsior and the
Mhm.
Sovereign. It's beautiful. If I'm going to get really nitpicky right now, guys, I wish that the nacelles squared up like on the Excelsior class, but we're still the Sovereign ones. That's a small nitpick, but
I don't know what any of that means.
that's why
Sure, dude.
I know.
As
I
soon as
love
didn't
people talk
mind
about
it.
ships, I'm like, I don't know.
It makes it go.
It makes it go. I really liked having Sonia Gomez in this episode. Like of all the people to bring, like I said earlier, it's such a great contrast to like what we're seeing on the show now, that you can go from on your first day meeting your captain and spilling your drink all over him to being the captain of a pretty impressive starship, right? Like that wasn't any starship. That was like a pretty important looking ship. I love that. I love that, even though I think that her confidence should have been higher, that Tendi like gets what she deserves, because I think out of everyone, she is the first one who should be heading to like a command training program, right? Like she has earned it and then some. And that may be Rutherford. I love that growth. Jennifer, I love you.
Oh yeah,
And I
forgot
love
about that.
you and Mariner. Eric kind of took a lot of what I was gonna say, which is fine. I'm glad he said it, because I just got goosebumps listening to him. But the end of this episode is just everything that I loved about watching Star Trek as a kid. Like the putting her in the shackles and then like telling her crew to back off, like let's let the system do its job, which in Starfleet sometimes goes wrong and sometimes goes right. We'll find out next season. But like Eric said, to see the to be continued on there and those notes, it was just such an awesome moment. But this doesn't slap like the season 1 finale, and it doesn't slap like last week's episode. And I'm gonna stick with that. It wasn't bad. It was really good, but it just didn't feel like a finale. It's honestly like they took the scene with Carol getting arrested from last week's episode and slapped it on at the end here.
No,
That's how I feel.
Mhm.
But
I'm
it was
saving my
still,
disagreement for later on.
no, that's okay.
Mhm.
It was really good. That being said, so I'm very happy with it. I can't wait for season 3. It's a great show. So shall we move on to the bigger questions? Let's do it.
Mhm.
Lower Decks. It was going to eventually do this. It has done it. Leaves us with a big TNG level, and Voyager and DS9. They've all had the to be continued at the ends. Cliffhanger. We get it here at the end of season 2. Thoughts on how the second season ended that way? I know we've kind of been all emotional about it already, but was this the right time to do a big cliffhanger for Lower Decks?
Yes. And one thing I do want to say is that the ending with the captain being arrested could not have happened at the end of last week's episode, because it needed to happen while she was on another mission so that she could be framed. If
They
it
could
would
have
have
easily
happened
done
where
a
she
3
stopped
months
the
later
Packlets,
thing.
But there's also like all the everything that they went through in this
yeah,
episode
like the
sort of
stuff that happened in
gelled
this
more.
episode had to happen.
Yeah, they needed to come like that
The
moment.
ship
between-
needed to come together.
Yeah,
Cerrito
exactly.
strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they already had a Cerrito Strong episode 2 episodes ago. When what's her name, the training officer, did her whole thing, and they like all banded together in their clothing and in their holodeck.
But that was the
things.
first
Oh no,
time
that
they
was
really
no.
all
I'm sorry,
got
that
along.
was last
Yeah,
week's
that was
episode.
a holodeck. one.
Carol even said it. Cerrito Strong, like, and everybody banded together and did it. So I think last
I think
week
She
was-
wasn't drunk in
his
that
strength.
episode.
I like both a lot. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that they purposely, like when this episode started out not having anything to do with the previous episode, it makes you think, and you already know because they're only 29 minutes long, you're like, how is this going to tie in? What is happening? And
I
it
feel
just-
like
it
this
hits much
episode in
harder-
particular. Go ahead, Brittany.
It's okay. It hits much harder because you're not expecting anything bad to have happened from all that. Just all this good thing comes from, she's going to get a promotion because of everything she just did with the Packlets. Like everything that happens in this episode, it leads up to that whole, they're celebrating Captain Freeman. You're prepared for her being leaving like everybody else on the ship, but you think she's going to have that proper send off. So like when she gets that slap on the wrists of her being arrested, it's like, oh shit. And then you find out it's because of, you didn't just defeat the Packlets and everything's hooray. It's you then blew up their planet. You worked with the Klingons because why else did they leave the battle? Like all these things finally made sense. So you're like, oh shit. And then you're left with that oh shit moment.
And you get
And I
the
think
sorry. No, go for it, David.
I was going to say that I think that this was a rare episode of Lower Decks where Captain Freeman was the center of the episode in a lot of
Mhm.
ways.
Yeah, I agree.
And I really think that highlighted her really well as a character. And I think the way that it ended was a really strong, maybe not necessarily a catharsis, but a really strong moment for the character and for the show.
Mhm.
And I think that really put her in the center of the ship and the Cerritos as a whole. And I think that was done really, really well to show that she is the captain.
Yeah.
And the fact that she also said she wasn't going to leave at the end.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
And then that happened. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no,
Everybody-
they just said that she wasn't going to leave. And throughout the whole episode, that had been hanging over the whole crew's head pretty much at that point. And the fact that Boimler brought everyone into that hallway just added a little bit more of a kick in the gut. Kick in the gut? Punch in the gut.
Yeah.
You do a kick in the gut too.
I guess that's sort of mean. But it just added a little more. And seeing their faces as they slowly walk her off, it's heartbreaking.
Oh, that's where I have a problem with everything you said here.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I think I need to rewatch everything too, because like when I saw this finale, I felt like I missed something through the whole season. You know, I was like, wait, so you keep like speaking about like Section 31 as a joke, hinting to something, weird going on in the shadows, but it's always a joke. And I felt like, wait, there's actually something going on? Like,
I mean, with the
somebody's actually
Packlets, yeah.
framing her? Like,
Yeah.
I would have liked to be like to have this thrill going under through several episodes, so I knew something was gonna build and something was going to happen, because like it came in like, okay, so like I didn't understand this cliffhanger. Like for me, it came kind of nowhere, like for them. But as a viewer, usually when there's something, ominous going on in Star Trek, there's something ominous going on in the background that is going to show up at one point or another, and you're like getting ready and seeing the things. And here it just came out like, what? Like, okay, like, what? And I missed that, feeling of dread building in several episodes, I'd say. I was feeling of suspense. There was no suspense. And
Yeah.
I think they did that to lead you into season 3 with questions, because now you're wondering why, how, and who framed her. It's like what gets you to really be hooked in the next season, like how Boimler left, and you're like, what is going to happen to their friendship? How are we going to watch Lower Decks when a main character left? It's one of those.
Yeah, but
questions.
they didn't give me anything during the season that I could actually have, some theories or some ideas of what was going on. Like,
Yeah,
it
I have
came
to
out
agree.
Of nowhere.
It
the only
basically
thing-
did. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't show
actually-
like the shadowy figure, but they hint a lot with Captain Freeman's journey and how it is that she keeps doing well and gets recognized for it. So that like you can see how it's actually the path where they were going to promote her and send her off a ship at least. But
And that's
yeah,
my
as far as
second
sneakiness.
point that I think is BS, is that I really disliked that they had the character be, I won't take the promotion. Damn right, woman, get that promotion. You worked hard. Like, what is that glass ceiling that she's doing over herself? That's
She loves her
bullshit.
ship. She
Yeah,
loves her
take your
ship.
people. Take your people. I think it's a bad example to say, like, I'm not gonna get a promotion because, I love people. Like, no, take the promotion, get a bigger ship, get more position, like change thing in this. Like, Carol, you're better than this. Like, I thought she was gonna fight for her crew to come with her and for them to get a better position, a better ship, better opportunities. No, she's just stays back. Like, what kind? Guys, I say.
But then Lower
every time
Decks
on
would
the
be
pod.
over.
Yeah.
Maybe
Wouldn't they could just be Lower Decks on a new ship?
But-
Representation matters.
It
And
does, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
and this example of her giving up a promotion for something she worked so fucking hard
Yeah.
is not okay. I was so disappointed. I was like, no, don't do it. And
Yeah.
I thought she was gonna fight for her people, but instead she just stands back. That McMahon, we need to talk.
It was
Maybe
like
it'll happen next season,
it was like a weird
and
play
maybe after Tribunal.
on what Kirk did, right? He took the admiral position, but he didn't want to be an admiral, and then they just sort of booted
But
him
it
back
wasn't going to
down.
be an admiral position. It was going to be captain moving up into like a non.
Yeah.
I've been calling it on Discord today. The working class level of Starfleet to like a
Mhm.
more command level starship.
Yeah.
I got to agree with Giraffe. It just there
you.
were some beats that
But
just
her
didn't
refusing
work.
it, she was also saying that the Cerritos is just as important anyway. I know that
Mhm.
it's terrible because they do this to black women characters all the time. Look at Michael Burnham. She can't be a damn captain until season 3, and she's got to get abused and put through hell for it.
Mhm.
I agree,
Thank
100%. But I think more so she had to stand her ground just because she's tired of everybody turning away the Cerritos for being California class. She's like, California class, look what we just fucking did. We saved a ship
That's a good point.
fucking
Yeah.
8 times our size.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'm not going to leave my crew because I can't bring them with me to that better place. She already
Yeah.
knows her crew's better than the other ships. So she's like, I'm going to stay. And she finally learned that value. And then, of course, they're like, tribunal time. And you're like, God damn it. We can't catch a break because we're the Cerritos.
We still have a lot of show. We got to keep going. It's a great debate though. Let's move on to something that we mentioned with Tendi and Rutherford, right? We've been talking about it for 2 seasons now. Tendi and Rutherford are in the Jeffries tube that they watched this awesome protostar thing in season 1. I forget exactly what they were watching, but it was really cool. They profess their mutual love, quote unquote, for the ship. Now there's no denying that both of them love the Cerritos, right? Like that's we know they love it.
Mhm.
They love scanning it with their T-88s. But was
That they
that
stole.
code for them loving each other? You don't create
Yes.
backups
No.
upon backups upon
Yes.
backups.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
I know.
I
I'm
said
with Eric
no.
on
I
this.
said no.
Yeah.
I'm with Eric. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No.
would,
Yes.
as much as I would like them to be a couple, like,
Same.
I still feel like the show might make that never happen because, like,
I hope
they
they
just
never.
want
like
to show how important
Picard
their
and
friendship is.
Beverly.
It's going to be
But
the
not- but
Picard
not like
Beverly.
that.
It is going to be
But-
that.
Well,
right?
This
Picard
show.
and Beverly had that romantic bit. These
I
two
feel like
haven't
it
had
would make the dynamic of the main characters weird if something like that were to happen.
Agreed.
And I
Yes.
feel like none of them will end up with anybody.
Except for
Mm,
Just because it
Regardless of
would
where it
Mariner
actually
Jennifer.
it would
goes,
change
Matt,
the
it's there.
dynamics.
I
It
agree,
is
Hawk.
there.
I agree.
They were
You-
like he took her to all their favorite spots, not the best spots on the ship,
Yeah.
but their favorite spots on the ship.
and then to a
Mhm.
secret spot they'd never been.
but
Yeah.
you can love your friend
Yeah.
without it being romantic love. Like
Yeah.
Absolutely.
and
I'm
I
not
feel like
saying that.
okay, so I'm gonna give an example. This is a little weird, but there was one of my friends that I sort of took under my wing under theater. Like I was older than her, and like I love her so much, and I took her to all the places that we went before she moved to New York to become an actor. And
Mhm.
like I've done things like that. Maybe it's because I'm Filipino, like Rutherford. Maybe that's a thing. I
Yeah.
don't know.
No, and listen,
No, I feel you though. I do love
I get it.
some of my friends very
I
deeply.
fucking love Brittany. I have no romantic feelings for her whatsoever. One, she's gay, so it
Same.
would never happen anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
That's
married,
my
but,
favorite thing too. I'm friends with so many men, and I'm just like, your wives literally don't
no,
have to worry.
but like, I fucking
probably
love her
steal
to
them
death.
from
Like
you.
I would take a bullet from her, but like
From
It's
her.
just-
from me.
not
From.
there.
You don't give me the beats for my puns, bitch. I love it. Freudian slip.
So there you go. There you go.
You proved it in the heat of battle, man.
He's in lesbians with you.
Oh god,
think-
I love that.
I
I love
think-
how. Go ahead.
Oh, I think it's good that
Speaking of
like
love.
they hint at relationship because fanfics writer needs some ideas. I think.
Check out
that's
our new
great.
fan fiction channel. Just
Do
created
they,
on our
though?
Discord
It's
channel.
so sexy
And hot
already.
and saucy.
I'm already on it. I'm already posting stuff.
I need Det Marino.
And I think that it's cool that they hint and they talk about relationship, but it's not the center of the show.
No,
Because let's be honest, I love ships. Like I do, but
Not as much as
I-
Julian.
I
that's
don't.
actually true.
I
He's like
don't
detached
need.
nacelles.
I don't need it as scenes in Trek. I'm like, it's okay. Let me think about it. I have
Bullshit.
enough
You want to see Ethan
imagination.
Peck's abs so
Yeah.
bad.
Who doesn't?
Give me shirtless Spock. Strange.
She's
new
like, I don't care
worlds,
about
come
any other
on."
ship, but
All right, now
Ethan
keep
Peck
your
and
mic
me.
there the entire show.
Yes, please.
I've been a good girl.
Oh, please
Have
don't do
you?
that into the mic.
Have you really?
I just want to see, something for Jake Sisko. I don't know. It's
Yes.
fine.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love
Oh.
him.
No ships here. Just
We'll get there.
a fellow novelist.
But do you like how the cameo they threw in at the end? Because we're like, there's probably going to be a cameo in the finale. Was just a TNG ensign who became a captain. That's just La Gloria.
Guys, we're talking about Rutherford. Let's keep talking about him.
love Rutherford.
Revelations. That implant is not a Vulcan implant,
I fucking
as
love
was
him.
hinted at in season 1. That implant was put on him against his will. David, I'm going to ask you first. Section 31, another clandestine operation. Who do you think put this implant on Samantha Rutherford?
The Tal Shiar.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh.
That'd
Hot
be cool.
takes.
Hot
All,
break.
all of this Section 31, Section 31. Guys, open your minds.
Mhm.
Think about the koala and
There's so many
expand your
shadowy
minds.
organizations.
It's Tal Shiar.
So
Maybe.
Go ahead, Giraffe.
okay, so you know me. I've literally watched that scene image
Listen
by
to me.
image. Listen to me. I've watched that scene image by image, and I like magnified on their ears, being
Yeah,
like,
you're like, what do those ears look like?
are they Vulcans because it's supposed to be a Vulcan implant? Are they Romulans? And they are very round ear, these people. Like very round. Very, very round.
Very
There's one that has, like,
humanoid.
kind of
Human.
yeah, weird haircut. But no, believe me, and they're wearing these weird I think DS9 red surgery gone, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just saying, you know. So I'll vote Section 31.
Plot twist.
Okay.
What if Rutherford is secretly from DS9?
Plot twist. What if
Plot
Rutherford
twist,
is actually Section 31?
Oh, there you go. Other plot twist.
Absolutely.
I like Lexi's comment on Twitch, briefly mentioned in the Discord. Could it be the TNG worms from season 1 who we never see again?
Yeah, that would be amazing.
I would love
It
for it
would.
to be a really obscure thing that literally
That
no one will see
is
coming.
absolutely the kind of thing Mike McMahon would do.
It is.
Exactly.
It is.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
and
That or
because
he'll
she
make up
didn't,
something new.
she didn't say it, I'm gonna say it for her. What about the Remans?
What about the Maybe.
Brittany, did you go? Who do you think it is?
No, I just think they always purposely leave things so vague that they just want you to theorize about it.
I know.
If there was more to go on, then for sure I could be like, yeah, it's going to be Section 31. But I agree that I think Section 31 would be too easy.
Yeah.
As much as we want to see them actually appear on Lower Decks and not just be a joke that they're like, ooh, Mariner's secretly 31. But I have a feeling it will either be a really obscure reference or it'll be something completely new that we couldn't possibly think of.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Because that's just
That'd be
so this show. Like they either pull very specific references to like one episode, one frame, or it's something new that we're like, oh, I never thought they were just going to be fighting Packlets forever.
It's the
You know, I know that they're from like
Yeah.
that's a reference also, but like they give him a new life in a way,
We know it's gonna be the Zindi. It's gonna be he's a time
It's
agent.
gonna,
right?
Rutherford
Oh,
is from the
that would be
future.
great.
No,
never
no,
know.
no,
Yes.
don't do this to me. No.
You never know.
Speedo.
it's gonna be the Sulaban.
Oh my god.
I'm excited for the next
The
question.
Kazons. The Kazons.
nice, Brittany. Thanks for the transition.
No, I'm just saying I am.
No, I know. It's the sequel to Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Who framed Carol Freeman? Go.
Judge Doom.
Her husband.
Oh.
I don't
It
know
just
what
got
this
quiet. I like it a lot.
Right?
He
It
said-
was that son of Duras.
Okay.
Something.
The Klingons are definitely involved.
I was too busy
Maybe.
pretending to be Judge Doom melting, so I missed whatever you said.
Eric said her husband.
Husband.
Oh,
The one who sent
would
her
be
on the
really
mission,
funny.
right?
I mean, it would make sense.
Got
Yeah.
rid of
Make a lot
Mariner,
of
now
sense,
getting rid of
yeah.
Carol. I like it. I like it.
So she doesn't move up.
Yeah.
It would be weird, but he would know because it would have to be somebody that knew she was going to be away on the mission.
Yeah.
So that way, it's like the scapegoat thing.
Yeah, because the guy at the Starfleet security guy goes, and you were obviously on a mission conveniently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Dun, dun,
I don't
dun.
know who did it. I'm not quite sure. I do know who blew up the Packlet homeworld, though.
The Packlets.
The
Yes.
Packlets themselves.
Oh, of
Absolutely.
course.
they
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Themselves
Of course.
up.
It was the
Absolutely.
Packlets.
Yeah,
No
they
question.
were trying to see if the
Yeah.
bomb worked.
Yep.
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 For the
And they
second
blew
time.
themselves up.
But whoever gave them the bomb is probably using the opportunity to take down Freeman for
Yeah.
some reason. I don't know. It's
Because I think they gave them the bomb so they could blow up the Federation, right?
Yep.
They were going to attack
Yeah.
the Federation. So then it's funny if they blew themselves up, then if it was the Klingons or whoever else is involved, then they were like, well, Freeman visited them. Easy peasy.
I like Joe's answer on Twitch, the Tellarite captain from Moist Vessels, who got one-upped by Carol.
Yo, probably, though. That would be the funniest shit.
I have a theory.
Was it that
so-
Vulcan officer that Mariner was making fun of for saying sensors?
Oh,
Yeah, what if?
I
Legit.
do
grudge.
think that these two last episode like work together way more than just what we think.
Mhm.
I think that there's something going on with the Klingon high command
Mhm.
and this ship that basically didn't do what they're supposed to do or did what they're supposed to do. The Klingon ship gave the Packlet another bomb, if you remember well.
Yep.
Right? And the Packlet most probably took them to their homeworld. And I think that somebody, maybe not the Packlet, detonated it so they can't attack the Federation. And there's like, I think we're still missing a piece of the puzzle. Like,
And
Yeah,
it's
I
on
would agree with
purpose,
that.
so we can't
I
guess
think-
it.
yeah, so we
Who-
can guess. There's no way we know right now who did it.
I
because
disagree.
think
I do think that the
it's gonna
Packlets
go.
straight up blew themselves up.
And I think whoever
Yeah.
gave them the bomb is trying to cover up the fact that they did that
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
blaming Carol for it.
But I think we still don't know the person that is framing her.
Yeah.
And I just have one hope is that in season 3 they'll take it slow. Let
Yeah.
me go through the suspense. Let me wonder. Let me like try to
Let
piece
Giraffe go
puzzles
insane.
together. Yeah. Like don't like start and be like, oh, she's free because it was all a misunderstanding. Come on.
Oh, no. I
That'd be
don't
pretty
think that'll
funny,
happen.
actually. I think that'd
That'd be
pretty funny.
hilarious.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious, but
But
no.
they're like, you're
Rick and
right. You
Morty
told
did
us
that.
the truth. Everything's fine.
Rick
Yeah,
and
it's like-
Morty did that already.
Previously on
It's true.
Star
Yeah.
Trek Lower Deck.
Kind of
You're
like
good.
how Shax talked about how senior officers and bridge officers can't tell people things.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mhm.
Yep.
But then
Can't
was
go to the
mad that
Black
he wasn't
Mountain,
told a
right?
thing.
What was the Black Mountain on Bajor?
Right.
Something.
Does anyone think that Rutherford's repressed memory is connected to it all?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Probably.
absolutely.
Sure,
it
why not?
better be.
Eh.
Come on.
Nope.
It would be
Time
funny if
agent.
just each season we get another hint about his thing, and it has nothing to do with anything that's going on.
Right.
Like season 1. Something is weird with that.
Guys, let's did everybody go? Are we good?
Yep.
On Carol, we have a year to find out and theorize. Let's do a very quick Easter egg hunt before we rate the finale. Who's got some stuff? Go ahead, Dreff.
Actually, the image behind Hawk, that white suit is Janeway's suit in the Hero Jane
Oh.
holodeck,
Yeah,
hunt.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
Oh, I
I
know
I
the
think
one
their
you mean.
outfits they're wearing
Yeah.
are,
Yeah.
The obvious Captain Picard Day reference.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh.
How about the mission was closely emulated the plot of the TNG episode Booby Trap?
Yep. Well, yes, it did. Yep, it
Was
did.
a booby trap indeed.
The scene with
Um,
the shackles,
Mhm.
the undiscovered country, like it was
This whole
almost
this
like
whole
the
episode
same.
is a love letter to undiscovered country. I'm just
same-
gonna
Yes,
get
it
that
is.
out of
Yeah.
the way. First contact when they're all on the hull and the pulley things to
Yeah.
get the hull off. That's straight out of First
Yeah.
Contact.
Yep.
Doing a moonwalk
True.
to save your best friend.
Yep.
Just kidding. Someone you love.
The steering
This is
column.
When
Yeah, the
when
steering
Captain
column,
Gomez
absolutely. Yeah, go ahead.
when Captain
David.
Gomez said, "Trust me, I know all about embarrassing myself in front of
Yeah.
a senior officer. Trust me."
Yep.
I like Mariner's Contraband showing up once again at a season finale because no small parts.
Was
And
that
of
Romulan
course, it's
ale?
from Riker, because that's where she gets her contraband.
Can we quote all the plants in the corridors as a TNG thing?
Yes.
Sure.
Example of the background of my pick.
Why
This
so
isn't
many plants?
this isn't an
funny.
Easter egg, but I just fucking love that Tendi wanted fajitas at the going away party because you guys know how much I love Tendi. She's my favorite character on the show. I fucking love fajitas. Like, so she goes, and there's gonna be fajitas, and it's like, my girl, I love you. Star Trek
Yeah.
6. Go ahead, Eric.
Oh, Captain Freeman talks about her Hydroscoot record, and she had
Yes.
previously been shown playing Hydroscoot in Crisis Point.
Yep. So many beauty shots. They kind of recreated the scene of the crew of the Enterprise looking at the Excelsior through the view screen when I think who says Bones goes, my God,
Yeah.
that's a big ship, and Scotty goes, not as big as her captain, I'd say.
Yeah.
That scene, the Archimedes flying out of space dock, the way it was
That
framed,
was awesome.
the way it was framed was right out of Star Trek 6 when the Enterprise is leaving space dock to meet up with Gorkin. The meteor exploding is straight up Praxis, and then hitting the Archimedes is straight up when Sulu goes,
Yep.
my God.
God.
And boom, it happens. And I was just waiting for her at some point to say, fly her apart then if they ever got power back, but it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I wish.
It's so good.
So many good little moves. Did anybody recognize the model ship in the Admiral's office? I didn't, but I'm
wasn't it-
sure
notice
it's
it.
something.
It looked like an upgraded Akira, wasn't it?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. If
remember.
anybody on Twitch recognized that, we would love to know. Any other Easter eggs, folks?
They had
Anybody?
an upgraded Nova
there was a
class as
lot.
well.
There was a Nova class, yes, and that's why they're getting the upgrades in Star Trek Online. I think that rolled out.
I liked that cetacean ops were horny dolphins because that's how they
We
be
didn't
in
talk
real
about
life.
the horny fucking dolphins.
Yeah. So one, cetacean ops, we all know that's like the best joke that they brought all the way around from everything. But then like the fact that they kept being like, Rutherford, get in, be all sweaty with us or whatever. Because like,
Nothing like saving your best friend and then
everybody goes
going
in there with
skinny
their,
dipping.
like, their
true.
swimsuits and stuff. But like, oh man.
Apparently, according to Mike McMahon on Twitter, the Obena class is named after Lower Decks art designer Noland Obena.
That's awesome.
Nice.
So there you go.
I like it.
Let's.
There's one more Easter eggs.
Okay.
Spock is
There's
the real science officer.
Okay.
No, I did love
Okay.
that Tendi thinks of Jadzia Dax first.
Yes. As
Because
does
that's
David.
who I think of. If you were like, name a science officer, I'd be like, Jadzia Dax. I wouldn't even hesitate.
Let's rate this episode out of 10 pieces of whole plating. David, you're up first.
I'm gonna give this 8.5.
Nice.
Nice.
Respectable.
Brittany.
10 out of 10. Because in my scenario, that last whole plate wouldn't even have hung on there. Gone.
Okay. Hawk.
I give this one a 9 out of 10. A very good season finale. Threw me for a strange loop.
Eric.
10 out of 10. Like I said, one of my favorite
Yeah,
episodes.
Yeah.
I love this
That's
episode.
awesome. I love it. I love that you loved it.
I love it.
Giraffe.
I'm gonna say 8 out of 10.
And I'm also going to hop on the 8 bandwagon. 8 out of 10 pieces
Respectable.
of whole plating.
No one on Twitch
not
yet.
too late to get those ratings. Let us know if you have them too. We're going to go into our final thoughts into season 2 as a whole. But if you do have those ratings, we will read them. So I guess first question, actually, you know what? We're just going to go in an order and you can answer all these questions at once. What hit the mark this season? What didn't? And what, if anything, did we miss in season 2? And we're going to go in the reverse order from the top of the show. So that means I'll go first, but I'm not going to. I'll still go last. Eric, you're up first.
Lies. Liar. No,
I know,
ready.
I'm lying.
What was the best? I think the character growth of all the main characters, including the bridge crew, I thought was probably my favorite thing. The biggest step back, I don't think this season was as funny as the first season. That's not a bad thing. It was still funny, but it wasn't as funny. I didn't pee myself laughing like I did with the koala in the first season. What was the other thing?
Did we miss anything?
We miss anything like talking about the season?
No, like
no,
what
like
do we
it's-
think should have come back? I have an idea, so I hope you don't steal it.
Badgie. I wish
Fuck
he
you!
came
God
back. Oh, I'm
damn
sorry.
it!
Oh, there
I was
it
gonna
is.
say Badgie too. So
God!
Forgot
He's
about
the only
Badgie.
thing I needed.
That's it.
We
Yeah,
got
he's-
Jennifer, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
there you
Got
go.
I'm just
Jack's
kidding,
back,
Eric. I
come
love you so
on.
much. You know that.
That's all. I can't think of anything else. Like I think the season was. I think it was a good evolution of where the show's going, and I look forward to where it's going from here.
Can I just bandwagon on what you said real quick because
No.
damn it. I love this season for that very reason that you said that it wasn't as funny as season one,
Mhm.
because I was hoping that would actually happen. I was really hoping that the show would have comedy, but come into its own as a Star Trek series first, and it did that successfully. So anyway,
Yeah, this
that
was
was my
more
one.
Star Trek, and I loved it. It was
Yeah.
more of a Star Trek show.
Hawk.
So let's see. What hit the mark? Actually, I'm gonna disagree with all of you, and I think the humor really hit well for me this season, not more so maybe than season one. And one of the biggest criticisms I've heard of like why people won't watch the show is, because it's like Mike McMahon, and it's like, oh, I don't like Rick and Morty, so I'm not gonna watch this.
That's
And I
bullshit
think
because I hate Rick and
Yeah.
Morty and I fucking love this show.
Same.
this
Go
this
ahead,
show
Hawk.
has found its own level of humor in that, it's like what it can and can't do in the kind of format, and with it being like a huge franchise in that. But I think they hit a new benchmark in humor this season, and that it's subtle, but it is there, and it's why rewatching these episodes and that really does bear fruit.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the Orville first season. Like they tried to do the Seth MacFarlane humor, and then
Mhm.
they moved into more of Star Trek with humor, like bits, and that's
Yeah.
what.
And I think
Really made
season
it
one
better.
is a lot of because like Fox made him do that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
Can I go next?
Yeah.
Because I have ADHD and I have to keep repeating
you
everything
did,
in my
but
head.
no, that's okay. But Hawk, did you have anything else?
What missed the mark? Not a lot, because I've thoroughly enjoyed all this season, and
Yeah.
so it's like there's nothing that stood out that's like, oh, I wish they had done that. And
Agreed.
yeah, the only thing actually missing from the season was Badgie. We were promised more Badgie.
Were we?
No,
Were
I
we?
don't know.
I think
we
we
not?
just promised ourselves.
Maybe it was an
more.
I think we
Implied
promised
promise.
ourselves. Yeah. Right.
I think we as a community all just like love Badgie that
Badgie's
much.
watching. Badgie's
always.
watching.
I'm always monitoring comms. Brittany, you're up.
Okay, before I forget, I had to hold my fingers like this. Okay, so what hit the mark was character and emotional arcs. I think they were the best this season.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
didn't? Mugatu Gumato. Like, as much as I rewatching that episode, I was like, sure, it's still my least. Like, I was just kind of like, meh. If I had to get rid of one, it would be that one. And then, if anything, what did we miss? Badgie.
Yep.
I just
Nice.
had to say it because I was going to forget all of it.
Fair.
Yeah.
Giraffe.
I think that I grew as a viewer. I thought I wanted
Yes.
a lot of
Yes.
Easter egg and TOS references, and I was so happy with like the museum stuff and looking at everything. But then I realized I really like when Lower Deck does themselves and does
Mhm.
Lower Decks episode and develop new things that I've not seen in Star Trek yet. Show me these Lower Decks on a Vulcan ship, like for real. That was
Yes.
epic. So I think that the season really found their own voice slowly, but for me it came a bit too late.
Yeah.
So I hope those will continue in season 3. What didn't hit the mark? I miss Mariner. I liked season 1 Mariner a lot, and they tried to like temper her and make her more complex. As much as it's worked great for Boimler, for Tandy, and for Rutherford, I'm not convinced about the development of Mariner. And I said that I wanted more suspense. Like get get me into it. Like warm me up, McMahon. Come on. And the last thing is that what are these interrupted plot lines? Like transporter Boimler, like so
Yeah.
They're
Like-
narrative threads that they'll pick up later.
Maybe.
I'd
I
be like, I
hope
Maybe.
get that
he's the
reference.
I hope he's the one who's framing Carol Freeman.
It would be great.
William Boimler.
Oh,
William Boimler.
You never know.
evil Boimler, but like that's the
Now
thing.
I'm
like,
getting
you
He's
Ted
gonna
Lasso
come back
vibes.
with sideburns in season 3.
Yeah,
You-
right.
You never know.
You get me like a character like Talin, for example, and there's not even a hint of her in the last episode.
Yeah, I wasn't happy about
Like-
that either. Yeah.
Like I feel, yeah, it's not really. It's more episodic, which it's okay, but there are things that people were so interested in and just disappeared. So I hope to see that in season 3.
Agreed.
Damn.
David.
What worked for me? Bradward Boimler. Our
Yes.
boy
Bad Boimler.
is really growing up, and he started in season 1 as such a nervous, neurotic Nelly, and his time on the Titan and just being in Starfleet, doing Starfleet things has really helped him grow and become a pretty capable officer, no matter how much people make fun of him. He's good at his job. What didn't work? Okay, guys, I admit it. I'm a prude. I didn't like the Mugato episode, and Naked Time was a little much. I'm a prude. Don't at me.
I'm
if
at
they're
you. I'm
They're gonna at you
you.
with all the pictures of Boimler's butt, uncensored.
you lined yourself up for that one.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. You're allowed to feel that way.
No, you are
those were
totally
the
allowed to feel
raunchier
that
moments
way.
where it kind of was like,
Yeah.
oh man.
if there's anything I think that they missed, it's that I feel like Beckett Mariner as a character kind of got worse, and they
Wow,
showed
everyone's
the
hurting me
person
so much.
the personality traits about her that I really don't like, and less of the things that I do. She's as impulsive as ever. She's as pushy as ever. She continues to not listen to anyone on anything ever until everyone's lives are in danger, and she can't fix it. And I continue to try and give Mariner a chance. I said in the pilot episode, I don't think I like her very much. And I've kind of come back around at the end of season 2 saying, do I like Mariner very much? I'm not sure I do.
You will in season 3 because she just
I
went
agree.
through all the shit in season 2.
We'll
She had to
see.
go
I
through
agree
her
with
bad
you.
spot to become a better person.
I agree with
Oh.
you.
Is she,
Like,
though?
we're seeing the Burnham thing, where like they like work these characters in like weird angles and so on, and you're like, oh come on, just give me a good character. Like, what is happening? I totally agree with you. Yeah.
It's
Before
just
I
the
go,
growing pains
yeah.
of a good character arc. You can't.
Yeah, but they have to
Yeah.
stop doing that over and over again. Come on.
I'm
they do it
okay
for
with that.
Berman.
By the end
I'm-
of the season, she
I'm
just
okay
made
with a
big
good
leap.
character arc. I'm okay with a
Yeah.
good character arc. And I love Michael Burnham's character arc,
yes.
just
Agreed.
for the record. I'm
with
just not feeling it with Beckett Mariner. I'm just not feeling it.
Yeah,
She's
because
not
they
there
don't
for
do
me
it
yet.
as well. Yeah, they
I
don't
love
do it
that.
as well
I
as
love
Burnham.
the
Yeah.
diverse opinions of this. I'm on the I love Beckett's side, but I like that we all have different opinions on it. That's what makes our show awesome. I love it. Before I go, I'm gonna read some ratings. Haven says my highest rating, I believe, was Duplers at 10 out of 10. I'm gonna take this out of the holosuite with a 15 out of 10. Okay. Lexi, we needed the Riemann dungeon orgy. Obviously, 0 out of 10 without it.
One day it'll happen.
It'll happen. We're gonna make it.
Hopefully
happen.
not on this show. Hopefully just
Yeah.
in fan fiction.
Probably
Write
not
the
on Promenade
fanfic,
Merchants.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. What worked in this season? It became Star Trek, right? Like last season was Star Trek, but this became Star Trek. Not as much emphasis on comedy, even though it was still hilarious. More emphasis on awesome missions and just like that exploration and things we love. Like the fact that the more we went on week by week, the less Easter egg hunting we had to do, right? We don't do Easter egg hunts really on our Disco podcast reviews because of that reason. Like those shows have come into their own, and I love that. What didn't work? Not a whole lot. I actually thought this season was pretty freaking fantastic. I had a blast watching it every single week. I think that this show tends to focus a lot on Mariner and Boimler. If we're gonna really nitpick, like Tendi and Rutherford still didn't get as much time, and I know that was a complaint last season. I think it could be a complaint this season as well. And as far as most growth, boing boing, like obviously, right? Dude, just like you said, David, he's great at his job, and he's the epitome of a Starfleet officer. And Carol, honestly, Carol grew a shit ton this season, and I thought that was great. Biggest step back, Rutherford. Rutherford didn't do anything this season. If you go back and watch his episodes, like he's great. I love him. He's a great character, but he had nothing to do this season.
He
And I
kind of
think-
didn't.
But he goes through a lot of emotional stuff though. He doesn't
Mhm.
physically do much, but like he had to deal with feeling guilt about Shax dying, getting over that.
Yeah. I'm
Has to
not
deal with
saying
the
that.
fact that
I'm
he
just
forgot
saying he
Tendi.
wasn't in the show that much. Like he's there, but he's kind of not. Like I just thought like the show lacked
Yeah, he doesn't get time to shine.
Rutherford.
Yeah.
So let's rate this season out of Captain, Commander, Lieutenant, or Ensign. And we'll do it like we did at the top of the show. David, we'll start with you. How do you rate season 2?
Commander who is just about to get their first command.
Oh, I like that. Okay. All right.
Mm.
Draft.
Yeah, I'd say Commander too.
Brittany.
Captain's the highest, right?
Yep.
And captain.
Hawk.
I'm gonna go captain in that. I think they've really hit a stride this season.
Eric.
If I could stand on my desk, I would say, "Oh, Captain, my Captain."
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna go captain as well. I don't think that there's ever a perfect season of anything, but I think you could still give something the highest score without it being perfect. And this season hit most of, if not all, the marks that I would expect from Lower Decks, which is why I give it a captain. Good ratings, great show. Let's get into some subspace polls and the mailbag.
Hailing frequencies are open.
Who wants to read
girl.
the first poll? The season finale ratings.
I can.
Hit it.
We asked you what you thought of the season finale, and 82% of you said Sarita Strong. 12% said worthy first contact. 3% said stalled in space dock. And 3% said guilty on all charges.
Nice. And David, as our guest, do you want to read our seasonal rating Twitter poll?
Let's do it. Warp me.
Warp.
We asked you to rate season 2 from captain to ensign. 81% said captain. 9% said commander. 0% lieutenant, and 10% of you said ensign.
Mm.
Yeah, I know. Interesting, right? Yeah. No real middle ground there. Just either.
Kind of how it always is with this show.
Yeah, it is.
People either
It's
love it or
true.
hate it, like every episode.
It's true. On Twitch, let's see. Engineer 21 says captain for me. Joe says captain for me. SMK rear admiral because someone had to take it to the next level and turn it up to 11. And Haven gives it a commander.
Lizard babies.
Lizard babies. I love it. Guys, I just want to say real quick, we're also trying to make sure that everyone in our Discord collective has a voice, and that means our international listeners who don't necessarily get to get mailbag because we do our show before. Sometimes they get an opportunity to watch the episode. So we're going to start reading mailbag from the previous week's episode as well, starting now until all of our episode reviews. So we're going to start with Wiz Juge mailbag and then go into first contact. And we have our first one from Rob V. Who wants to read it? Anybody?
I'll
I'll
go
do it.
again.
Oh, no, go for it.
Eric, let Eric go. Eric.
All right. Rob V wrote, Love the story being spread between the 3 ships. Also nice use of the TOS movie's battle music. Agreed.
Indeed.
Agreed.
Who's next? Jesco. Who wants to take Jesco's? Brittany, you said next.
I'm trying to give
before,
other
so-
people a chance here. I always like to read. Jesco wrote, I really enjoyed the Klingon arc. The Targ defending someone who actually took care of them was so perfect.
Mhm.
And the ending was so satisfying. I agree.
Indeed. Anybody want to take Ian's?
I'll take.
I will.
yes.
Let David,
Oh.
our guest, hit it. Sorry, Draft.
Ian Davies wrote, finally watched the episode and I loved it. It was great seeing the other lower decks and I really liked the Vulcan. I hope we see her join the crew, referring to T'Lyn. And the way Klingon ships works still makes no
Makes no
sense.
sense. I love it.
You have no honor.
No honor.
They have that instead of a warp core. Just honor. That's what they run on.
We're gonna go. We're gonna go into our finale mailbag now, and we had a request on Twitch that Hawk read Haven's mailbag, and then Giraffe, you could read Lexi's.
Yeah, my girl. Yay.
Good, good.
So Haven wrote, I am at a complete loss for words of how good this episode ended. I actually have no idea what to say. I never expected this to be how the season ended, and all I can think of is the Mariner soundbite. Are you freaking kidding me?
Are you,
And
are
I'm
you
going-
fucking kidding me? Oh, I almost did it exactly.
You
I was
almost
off
did.
slightly.
Sorry.
I
Keep
jumped
going.
the
Fix
gun.
that in post.
And I'm going to end it by saying, damn it, Mike McMahon, give us season 3 already.
Right.
Season 2 review. Before I give him a review of the season, I want to give a special shout out to Julian and Rob as they both pushed me when I first joined the Discord group to watch the first season of Lower Decks, which I was extremely hesitant about because I am not a big fan of Rick and Morty, so I was kind of avoiding Lower Decks before joining the collective. But my final thoughts on season 2. There was 10 episodes this season, and there was 9 episodes that I considered to be amazing Trek, like you could consider them as part of the top 20 episodes of Trek of all time. I think greatest episodes you're supposed to bring in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very well done. Good stuff. Draft, you're up with Lexi's.
Yay! So Lexi wrote a fabulous ending to a fabulous season overall. The hull-less Cerritos was a fun sight to see, an interesting tease of something sinister going on with Rutherford, and quite the cliffhanger ending with Captain Freeman. While I expect we'll get her back eventually in season 3, I'm curious to see who we'll have as replacement captain in the interim.
Captain Jellicoe.
Yep.
I hope
Come
not.
on, give us like acting Captain Ransom. I want to see this.
They'll
You
probably
know
get
it
a
won't
captain with the
happen.
riding
It's not
crop.
gonna happen. Yeah.
Just
Watch it be
just for
like
the
Saru.
chaos.
Oh.
Just kidding, it won't be Saru. That'd be cool.
In the future.
Yeah, no, he's in the future. I just
Well,
want some
perhaps-
disco thing. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Draft.
Well, perhaps not as grand as and blockbuster as the season 1 finale. It was once again just a great culmination of the characters and their development. No Lynn was a mild surprise after our setup last week. Also, I have said it before, and I remain even more convinced now. Mariner and Jennifer are totally hooking up at some point. My cheaper eyes see what they see, and Lexi totally called it like weeks ago.
She did weeks in like
Weeks
August.
ago.
In August.
Yep.
So did
Yeah.
Brittany. So did Brittany.
Yeah.
But
Called
yeah,
it, like, season
Lexi
one.
called it. Yeah, it was awesome.
I got Noe.
Noe's. Yeah, hit it.
Lexi knows what's up.
Noe wrote, this season was a bit of a roller coaster compared to season 1, but it delivered on a lot of fun and some stress at the very end. I was wrong for thinking cetacean ops would be filled with some serious mammals.
Yep.
Those dolphins would be thirsty.
I want to know what the hell is going on.
Overall, can't wait for the lingering plot threads to be resolved and expanded on next season.
Yo, horny dolphins,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Horny dolphins. I'll take the last mailbag. Fernanda wrote, I like this season. I like that this season finished with a nice cliffhanger and some unresolved threads. Not a soft rebut. Sorry. Wow. Let me try that again.
Rebut.
Rebut.
But
Fix it
Saul
in
Freeman?
post.
Not a soft reboot. Looking at you, Disco. Nor a finish point on season art. Looking at you, Disco and Picard. And we're going to have some changes. Tendi on the bridge, Rutherford with a shady implant. Who is behind the Packleds? The Packleds. Who is going to be captain? How will they prove Freeman's innocence? I have questions. I demand answers.
And that's what McMahon wanted.
And that is what McMahon wanted. And that is going to do it for Lower Deck Season 2. That is going to do it for this episode. Before we go, Mr. David Majors, please tell us how we can find you and the Promenade Merchants podcast and whatever else you would like to plug.
Well, if you want to listen to my fantastic co-host, Heather Kirby, you can tune into the Promenade Merchants podcast. In your podcatcher of choice, look for it by name. She's great. I make bad puns and terrible jokes. And you
that's
can
what I'm
follow
here
the...
for.
We got to have you on sometime, Brittany.
I like this idea.
And you can follow the podcast at Prom Trek Pod. Send us an email at promenadetrekpod@gmail.com. I do a bunch of other stuff, but I don't like plugging my stuff. So just listen to Promenade Trek Pod. Heather's great.
Oh, I love it. I
And
love
so
it.
are
Good stuff.
you.
And so are you. We've appreciated having you on these past couple times. We would love to have you back very soon in the future, good sir. Like I said, guys, this has been a wrap on Lower Deck Season 2. What a hell of a ride it's been. So much fun. We will be off, like we mentioned at the top of the show. Next week, we're taking a little break before Prodigy rolls in, guys. Star Trek Prodigy, and then
Yes.
and then what? 2 weeks later, Discovery. It's going to be a busy time.
Yes.
Strangely,
God.
I know.
Never
Get
ending.
ready, folks. Let's fly.
Years without Star Trek.
I
Right?
need Michael
Years
Burnham
without
injected
Star
into
Trek,
my
and now you're
veins.
just getting tons of it.
Yeah, right. Let's fly, guys. Let's fly. So join us directly following the conclusion of this podcast on our Discord for our watch along of TNG season 2. Hugh Who, for Brittany, for David, for Hawk, for Eric, for Giraffe. I say to you, live long and prosper. Majram. Good night.
Thanks for beaming into our podcast today. If you want to keep the hailing frequencies open, you can subscribe on Apple and Google Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. Like what you hear? Put in a good word with Starfleet and leave us a 5-star review.